Well, Anatomy of Dreams, what a name for a collection of fragrances, right? Well, finally, Valentino is getting into the private, exclusive, privé, whatever you call it, high-end collection of fragrances from the designers. And they're launching with 7 fragrances that just got announced, just coming after the Fendi collection. And I'm going to talk to you about these 7 fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Sebastian. We're talking about Valentino's new collection of fragrances called Anatomy of Dreams. And this is a high-end, upper-level, exclusive, private, whatever you want to call it, collection of fragrances from an Italian fashion house. I'm not the biggest fan of Valentino fragrances, especially after they left Puig. The fragrances that they had, Uomo, were really great when they were under Puig. But now I don't much prefer the fragrances. But I'm excited for these. I'm going to get my nose on them. Let's see how they come out. So we've got 7 fragrances. It seems like some of them are done by IFF perfumers. Some are done by Firmenich perfumers. I was looking to see if Dominique Ropion's name was going to come up, but it did not because he's at IFF. But there are some very well-known perfumers here like Carlos Benaim and Flipo from the IFF house, and then we've got Fabrice Pellegrin and Nathalie Lorson from the Firmenich firm or house or whatever you want to call it. So I spoke to you about Fendi recently, and they launched with 7 fragrances as well. I think the prices are about the same. And are you guys looking forward to this collection from Valentino? Are you a fan of Valentino's fragrances in general, the signature line? I've stopped buying Valentino fragrances because I didn't really care for the Uomo series that L'Oreal launched for Valentino after they left Puig. But before that, I really enjoyed the Uomo series. They were really, really great. Uomo Intense, and then the one with Sandalwood and Black Pepper. All 3 of those were really great. But if you have a favorite Valentino fragrance, let me know. Put a comment down below, and let's get started with the list of fragrances. And it's in alphabetical order. So the first one of the fragrances in Anatomy of Dreams, what a name, by the way. Do you guys know what this name means? Behind the Scene, S-E-E-N. So it's a woody, spicy fragrance created by Delphine Lebeau-Krowiakj and Anne Flipo. So this is an IFF duo of perfumers, and I've been a fan of Anne Flipo creations for the niche world. And I'm curious to see what this one's all about. 100 ml, $330. Notes include hazelnut accord, Orris accord, geranium, vetiver heart, turmeric leaves, cedarwood, sandalwood heart. So first off, what do you guys think of the bottles? I am not too excited about these bottles. They do look kind of cheap, especially the cap. I don't like the cap whatsoever, but seems like the cap is the same design as the Uomo and the female collection bottles look like. They basically move that over to the cap only. And if it's plastic in any way, because it looks like plastic, it's going to be extremely cheap. The bottle itself is nice, but I don't like that kind of V design that they have on it. What do you guys think? And the juice color of Behind the Scene is green. And that's another thing. They've added colors to the fragrances. These are added colors. I don't think these are official colors of the juice that's come out from the formulas that they've put together. So they're colorful fragrances. What do you guys think about adding color to fragrances? I think it makes sense to add color because these bottles are kind of boring. But let me know your thoughts if you like the bottles or not. But this fragrance is keynotes are Vetiver and Hazelnut accord. Sounds kind of boring. Sounds a bit like something that I've seen at Celine, because the hazelnut and the Orris together and the vetiver, kind of nutty, powdery, woody, and aromatic at the same time. So I feel like turmeric adds some extra spice, but it's mostly woody, spicy, powdery, aromatic. I think it's the one that sounds the most boring to me, but the hazelnut vetiver thing has been done quite a bit already. So many fragrances are out there with this kind of duo of notes. First time I noticed it was with Caron, drawing the blank with the name. It's a very French name. And then, of course, Jacques Fat came out with a similar fragrance And there's a Frappant fragrance that has the hazelnut accord or hazelnut note. And now we've got one from Valentino. If you guys have gotten your noses on these fragrances, do let me know, but let's move on to the next fragrance. All right, the second fragrance is Club Couture. It's considered a Chypre fruity fragrance, and I guess it's a Chypre fruity green. And I don't understand why they decided to go with a pink color for this when the style they call it Chypre fruity green should have been the green one that they had here, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? But this is a Carlos Benaim creation. Once again, 100 ml, $330. Eau de Parfum concentration. It has notes of fig accord, orange flower absolute, Orris accord, bitter orange, cedarwood, bergamot, mandarin, patchouli, and musks. So I took the notes information from the Valentino website because they're already on there. And it has a button where you can get notified when they're selling. So for this, they did not list the keynotes. I think it might have been just missed. So I don't understand what this fragrance is about. I haven't put my nose on it. And I also kind of don't know about the color of the juice matching the actual notes breakdown. But I'm assuming this is citrusy, it's powdery, and it's got iris for sure because it's got the Orris accord. It has earthy elements, fruity touches, but is it fruity because it has a fig accord? And are we talking about the fruit of the fig? Or are we talking about the leaves or the tree? So they're completely different. So must get my nose on it to get, you know, to understand what this one's all about. But for sure, floral, woody, musky, and powdery. So which one sounds good to you so far from the two that I've spoken to you about? Do let me know, put a comment down below, and let's move on to the next one. So this one sounds really, really exciting to me. I'm curious to get my nose on it. It's created by Nathalie Lorson. It's called L'Innocence de l'air. I think that's how you say it. My French accent's not the best. My dad and his mom spoke French. I never learned, unfortunately. So this is a floral rose violet, according to the description on the Valentino website. And the keynotes here are centifolia rose and green tangerine. But I feel like it's going to be a musky fragrance because the notes are centifolia rose, green tangerine, angelica seeds, ambret, rose damascena, musks, and suederol. Suederol is a leather note, suede leather note. So I'm assuming that's in the base notes. And then we've got the ambret in the base notes as well. And we've got musks in the base notes. And angelica usually appears in the top or the heart. So it's very powdery, it seems, and it's also very musky. Ambret creates a powdery effect. Angelica does too. And I feel like these notes really complement one another, whereas ambret goes fruity, boozy, musky for sure. Angelica goes vegetal, green, and powdery. Ambret has powdery touches. So these two notes work wonderfully together. So I'm assuming that it's a rosy, citrusy, musky leather. But this one sounds really exciting to me, and I feel like the color of the juice is quite pale, light. It might be the most boring because it doesn't have a lot of depth to the color, whereas the other ones have this really interesting color. This one seems flat to me. But what are your thoughts on the bottle itself and the name? So Nathalie Lorson also did a musky fragrance for the Infiniment Coty fragrances that launched recently. Have you gotten your nose on that one? So she's also made a fragrance called Le Labo's Another 13. So she knows her musks. So this one I am quite curious about. The addition of the rose. Where does the violet come from? Because they threw in the style as a floral rose violet on the Valentino website, but there's no mention of the note of violet, so I don't know where that comes from. But we shall see. I'd like to get my nose on these and report back to you guys. So we started out with an IFF perfumer, second fragrance was an IFF perfumer, and then the third fragrance was Firmenich. Nathalie Lorson is with Firmenich, but now we're going back to IFF with a fragrance created by Paul Guerlain. This is Notte d'Oro, I think that's how you say it in Italian. Woody, ambery, fruity. So it has notes of rose, black cherry accord, geranium, patchouli, sandalwood heart, oud, grapefruit, jasmine absolute, sweet orange. I'm liking the idea of this fragrance as well. And I enjoy Paul Guerlain's work. He did a great fragrance for Maison Crivelli called Neroli Nasimba. And I think, from what I remember, his creation for Reine de Saba is also really, really great. And I like the idea of combining a black cherry accord or note with rose. I think they do work wonderfully together. And there's geranium in this as well, so it's aromatic, spicy. Most likely they're going to bring out the rosy facets of the geranium as well to complement and enhance the rose. And the addition of the patchouli, its earthiness, this kind of sort of sounds like maybe a bit like a Chypre, but they're calling it a woody, ambery, fruity. So this one actually sounds quite exciting, more exciting than the first two fragrances for sure. And I can't wait to get my nose on Notte d'Oro. What do you guys think of this one from the perfumer Paul Guerlain over at IFF? Do let me know. Put a comment down below. So this next one is called Private Talk. It's created by Nicolas Bonneville, who works at Firmenich. This is the 5th fragrance I'm going to talk to you about. We've got 2 more after this. Once again, all of the fragrances are 100 ml for $3.30. I don't know if they have a larger size. A lot of the upper end collections from the LVMH brands usually have a 200 ml as well, but I didn't see a larger size over on the Valentino website. Maybe they'll update it later. But all of them come in eau de parfum concentration. This fragrance has notes of ginger, cappuccino accord, tuberose, ylang ylang, white musks, sandalwood heart, cedarwood, and Virginia. Very woody for sure, and spicy, zingy. That zestiness from the ginger note is quite prominent most likely in this one. But we shall see, because it's cappuccino accord, so a combo of coffee with tuberose and ylang ylang. That's been done before. I've seen fragrances with tuberose and coffee. There was Cafe Tuberosa from the house of Atelier Cologne that got discontinued. That did feature rose as well. I really love that fragrance. This one sounds good. We shall see how it is. Sometimes tuberose and white floral notes can go a bit animalic. Does this one go animalic? We shall see. But I like the idea of combining coffee with white flowers. And white flowers generally has a creaminess, so acts a bit milky, creating a milky coffee effect. But how much coffee do they have in the cappuccino accords? Because usually when they mention cappuccino accord, cappuccinos generally have a lot of milk in them. So it could be a bit milky coffee to begin with, and then they're just enhancing the milkiness. So this fragrance seems like it's going to be milky lactonic. Again, if you've gotten your nose on all these fragrances, do let us know. Put a comment down below and let us know what they smell like. Up next, it's Punk Romantic. I like the name on this one. What do you guys think? This is considered an ambery woody fragrance, and this is created by Fanny Bal over at IFF. So far, 2 names have come up that have created the Fendi collection fragrances. Fanny Bal and Flipo, both of them have fragrances with the Fendi collection, and now we've got both of them on here with the Valentino collection. This is considered an ambery woody. It has olive wood accord, musks, black pepper, juniper berries, sandalwood heart, bourbon, and Madagascar vanilla. I really want to get my nose on this one. I love anything with olive. Big fan of olives. Mediterranean guy here, so anything with olives, I'm obsessed. So I don't know if it's gonna smell like the tree itself. It says olive wood accord, so most likely that's what we're gonna get. So the idea of an olive fragrance or an olive fragrance smell is really great. There was a fragrance from the house of Bottega Veneta called Olivo. Really loved that with the olive accord that they created for that. So this one sounds like probably the first one I'm going to get my nose on, because like I said, I love anything with the smell of the olive tree. I feel like it's one of the most amazing trees that, you know, we've been given or gifted here in the world. So I love the taste of olives. I love the olive oil and the smell of the tree itself. So very unique sounding. It seems like it's going to be very woody, aromatic, spicy. And then the idea of the vanilla in the dry down. So kind of going from very woody, aromatic touches to vanillic, ambery touches. So this one sounds great to me. I do enjoy the work of Fanny Bal, but I haven't seen her do something like this with this kind of a style. So we shall see, because she does really great work with Orange Blossom. And so we shall see how this one is. Last but not least, the 7th fragrance in the Anatomy of Dreams collection by Valentino is called Sogno in Rosso. Is that how you say it in Italian? It's interesting. They've got different language names for the fragrances. This is considered an ambery spicy. So I didn't tell you the colors of the other fragrances because I've got the computer here. Punk Romantic has a bit of a purplish lavender magenta thing happening. Private Talk is orange. And then we've got Sogno Rosso next, which is a nice deep dark red. Blood red for sure, like wine red. This is a amber spicy musky fragrance created by Fabrice Pellegrin. This one sounds great to me as well. 100 ml 330 eau de parfum concentration, black pepper essence, milk foam or latte foam accord, vanilla bourbon, sandalwood heart, ambergris, orange blossom, incense essence, juniper berries, petitgrain. I feel like this color doesn't match the fragrance. I just don't get these colors personally. What are your thoughts? Milk, milky notes, white, right? At least that's what I get from this. There's no... The notes in here don't scream blood red wine color. What do you guys think? Where do these colors come from? I'm a little confused. Keynotes for this fragrance are black pepper and the milk foam accord. And so I like the idea of this one. I'm a bit cautious about it, and I shall see how it is. The idea of ambergris in here, although I don't think it's going to be animalic, even though sometimes ambergris might come off animalic, I feel like they're creating an ambery base here with this fragrance. And I enjoy Fabrice Pellegrin's work. In fact, two fragrances that he created for Infiniment Coty are two of my favorites. In fact, the three fragrances that I like from Infiniment Coty, one was created by Nathalie Lorson, the musk for that brand, and then Fabrice Pellegrin created the vanilla and also the tobacco. I enjoy those three fragrances. So we shall see how this one is. Sogno in Rosso. Again, the colors don't match the fragrance itself, but maybe I'll understand more when I get my nose on it. But let me know your thoughts on these 7 fragrances from Valentino, the Anatomy of Dreams collection. What do you think of the name? What do you think of the bottles of these fragrances? What do you think of the colors of these fragrances? What do you think of the price point? 100 ml, $330. Are they going to be loud, big fragrances? Are we going to have... you know, disappointing offerings? So just a couple of other things I want to mention here. Valentino is under L'Oreal, right? They used to be under Puig, but they got rid of Valentino. I'm not sure why they got rid of it, but maybe they needed some money, so they got rid of it. L'Oreal took them on, and I have not been happy with their fragrances personally. But I do really like L'Oreal's upper end collection of fragrances, especially for YSL. I'm not a big fan of YSL, their signature line. There are a few here and there, but I don't care for a lot of their signature line fragrances. But really do love the Le Vestiaire collection from the House of YSL. I think they've got some great releases in that collection. So if these are going to be good quality like those fragrances, then I'm going to be happy. But the price point is really high, and not like the Le Vestiaire collection, because they come in larger sizes. I believe they're 125 ml. For just a little under the price point of these. So, and I actually much prefer the bottles for those fragrances than this. I hate the cap for this fragrance collection, really do. Let me know your thoughts on the cap of this collection. I really do like the YSL Le Vestiaire collection. I think it's a solid collection of fragrances from a designer. And so I'm hoping these will be like that as well, but I'm not holding my breath. But what do you guys think? If you've sampled these, put a comment down below. Let me know what you think about them. If you haven't sampled them and you heard the 7 different fragrances, which ones sound the best to you? Put a comment down below. And are you a fan of Valentino in general as a fragrance house or not? I'd like to find out what your thoughts are. Yeah, let me know. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.